Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tasia, but you can also call me Tay, and welcome in. And welcome Humphrey. What an unexpected surprise. Hi everyone, welcome to my island. This is my Halloween Island Wednesday, my Halloween spooky town. It's finally done. I know it's been a couple days past Halloween, but I hope you guys don't mind. I really want to show you guys around and show you what I've been up to on this Halloween island. But before we get into it, I would greatly appreciate though if you could like and subscribe. I would love to have you guys join this community that we are building here. Now let's get started with this island tour. However, there is one thing missing. That's better. Okay, now we can really get into the tour. I wanted to wear my little jacket because this island is themed to be like a spooky Halloween town. All of the residents who live here are kind of spooky, kind of scary. They are not your typical villager. So yeah, I wanted to dress the part and fit in with the whole island theme. And speaking of villagers, let's go ahead and pull up my map. Here is my map, and here are all of my residents. We have Stitches, Vesta, Humphrey, Pietro, Muffy, Lucky, Kiki, Cleo, Petri, and Megan. So I do have the majority of my original lineup that I wanted for this island. However, I do have Petri and Cleo. They weren't originally on the list. I just could not find Cole or Biscuit, so I ended up filling in Petri, and I went villager hunting and I found Cleo. So I do really like them both. I do think that they fit in with the whole island theme, so I'm really glad to have them here. But there's the dream address down at the bottom if you would like to visit as well and tour along with me, which you totally should. Go ahead, get dressed up in a Halloween costume and come visit this island and visit with me. It'd be really fun. But let's get into the tour. So coming up here is my island entrance, and Humphrey is here welcoming you all. This island entrance I just absolutely adore. I've had so much fun kind of changing it up through my different variations. I first made this in a video, I believe it was my second video ever on the channel, and this is what it ended up being today. If you guys aren't aware, I actually started this island theme last year and I kind of just got really burnt out with it, so I'm just really glad that I was able to finish it this year and finally have my own Animal Crossing Halloween island. This is my very first. So yeah, I just really love this entrance. I ended up changing the inclines from the stone to the brick just because the brick are more colorful, they're orange, and I just think they're super fun. As you can tell, I used a lot of the classic Halloween colors, so you'll see that a lot throughout the island. I also really wanted to incorporate some glowy items as well, so I used a lot of the frozen furniture, some actual lighting elements, and glowing moss. But I think we're gonna head up this way. I'm kind of just winging this tour, to be honest. There is not a very great way to walk around the island, so I'm just kind of going with my instinct here. But this is my little land bridge that leads to resident services, and I just love this. I love how it turned out. I love how you can see the trees overlooking the bridge, and it's an extension of the castle walls. So yeah, I just think it's super fun. Like the name Wednesday, I was inspired to name this island after Wednesday Addams, but this is not like a Wednesday themed island like the show. It's kind of just like spooky, fun, and kind of a little wacky, like Wacky Wednesday. So that's kind of the vibe. That's an explanation of the name. But down here I have a little eyeball pond along the edge of the castle. I absolutely love this code so much. And speaking of codes, if you like any of them that you're seeing today, you can find them on my Pinterest. They will be linked down below under the board called Wednesday 2.0, because I already have a board called Wednesday that was for my first version of this island. So any of the codes that you like in this tour today, that will be under the Wednesday 2.0 board on my Pinterest, so you can find them there. But here is AEL Sisters. Of course, I wanted to put out a ton of spooky, fun Halloween costumes here, and it's just so colorful. I really like this island theme and just all the color, and it's just, I don't know, I just really like it. But yeah, here's AEL Sisters. You can pick up your Halloween costume and be ready for trick-or-treating. And down this way leads to resident services, and we have Petrie and Muffy hanging out here. Tucked in the corner though, once you wake up from your dream, you will find some presents that I left for you. You can pick them up, put on the Halloween costume. You'll actually be twinning with me in my pumpkin head. So yeah, you can pick these up if you really want to fit in with the whole island. I think now we are going to head to the left over here, and down here I actually have a little circular pumpkin well, I guess. Originally I wanted this to be a rock garden, however my rocks just refused to spawn here, so I ended up just filling it in with some bushes. But that's okay because I think it's really fun. I think it definitely fits in with the whole color scheme of my island, and it's just really pretty. It's a nice little welcome onto the island. So heading over here, as you can see, I use a lot of the frozen furniture again because I just think they're a perfect element to glow, especially on Halloween islands. But once you cross this bridge, you kind of enter into our pumpkin carnival slash festival. I actually love how this build turned out. It's very different from what I wanted it to be. Originally, I wanted to have a pumpkin patch and a corn maze. However, I kind of just ran out of room, and that's something that I noticed throughout this island. I had so many different ideas, but I just ran out of room for a ton of them. So this island definitely turned out much different than I had envisioned, but I am very happy with the end result. And here is the little circus tent. I love how this turned out. I've never built a circus before in the game, but this was so much fun, and it's very like small and simple. It's just so perfect. It fits in very nicely, and people typically put that one clown design up top, but I wanted to use this pumpkin one where the eyes kind of follow you wherever you go, just because this is set in my pumpkin patch and it's the pumpkin carnival. So I just thought that was a perfect little cute spin on the circus design. And over here we have a merry-go-round, so you can go ahead and ride that if you like. And once you exit the pumpkin carnival, you kind of come up into this walkway. I was really struggling with how to decorate this, to be honest. I didn't know what to put in here. The edges were very small. I didn't know how to decorate it and make it fit in with the whole island theme, but I kind of just settled on these bushes and pumpkins. You can never go wrong with pumpkins on a Halloween island. So I just wanted my villagers to have somewhere nice to sit and relax because this island is for them. I want it to feel like home, because it's kind of like Halloween every day. They should just feel natural and comfortable in this Halloween island. But coming up here is a reference to Wednesday, but it's also a little area where you can go shopping. So if you've seen the show Wednesday, you probably recognize this little window here. This is Enid and Wednesday's window in their bedroom. And of course, I wanted to put Wednesday's cello here because she does a little cello solo in front of this window. Also in the show, she did have a pet scorpion at one point, so I did want to have that little detail there as well. But over here on the left, we have a little magic shop where you can pick up some things to do some magic shows. I thought that would be a really cute design for a shop. And on the right, we have another shop. I'm not really sure what this is. It's probably just a place where you can go and get ingredients for potions or spells. So yeah, I just thought this was a really cute design to incorporate. All right, heading to the right over here is a very cute set of apartments based on Halloween. They're fully decked out for the holiday. I just really love how this street turned out. This is kind of inspired by the street that I did on my island Andalasia, which was my enchanted themed island. So I kind of wanted to recreate this but use the Japanese stair dressers instead of the inclines because I've run out of inclines on the island. And I think it turned out really fun. I really wanted to use this code specifically as the windows, and I thought it was kind of clever to put the pumpkins on top of the stairs to look like they just left out a pumpkin outside of their doors. So yeah, that is a really fun detail that I love. And I think I'm going to head on down here and come back around because down here leads to a graveyard. I really love how this graveyard turned out. It's very glowy and windy. There are a ton of graves tucked in here and a little shovel because I thought that was kind of spooky and eerie. And I just love it so much. This was actually the very first big build that I did on this whole island, and everything just grew from here. This is like the very center of the island as well, so I just thought this was a very perfect detail, of course, for a Halloween island, and I just love how it turned out. I think it was a really fun idea to put in the pumpkins here as well, and I have a few little ghosts tucked behind some bushes or tombstones that are kind of like popping out. I feel like you would definitely see some zombies in this graveyard though. It is kind of spooky at night. But we're gonna head back down here to the road, and oh my goodness, we have a little friend. We have Lucky here, perfect after exiting the graveyard. He is so cute. I haven't really talked to him though because I didn't want him to move out, so I was trying to avoid talking to him. But I'm not really sure which way to go next because we have an incline here, but we also have a bridge here, which I think we are going to loop back around here, so I am gonna exit the graveyard actually and enter back to my entrance because the graveyard does lead to my entrance. So you'll kind of exit the graveyard by coming through this archway here, and we're actually going to go to the right now. I will come back to the back of the island because I like this little entryway much better coming from this direction. But entering over here is kind of another little like town center slash shopping district. I made these little sets of buildings once again because I just thought they were really fun. I loved using all the castle items and the simple panels and codes that I had, so I really wanted to utilize them throughout the island. But for this first shop, we have a candy shop, and this is where you can come grab some candy if you need to pick some up before Halloween, and make sure to give some out. So we have a few dropped pieces as people left the store, and over here we have a little centerpiece that is behind this bridge here. I just thought this is super fun and festive, probably a really great spot to take some pictures if you like. And I just thought this landscaping and terraforming was super fun. However, because it's kind of like sunken and so small, it took me a very long time to figure out how I would decorate this. So yeah, I am really happy though with how this turned out. I just think it's so fun. We have the double inclines here right below the bridge, so I just really enjoy that. And back there is somewhere where we will come to in a minute, but first we're going to head over here and we have a little witch shop. So if you are a witch on the island, this is the perfect store for you. We got all your witch potions, we got spells, we got wands and brooms. This is where you come for all your witchy needs. So coming along this way actually leads to a pumpkin forest. I love how this build turned out as well. This is another one of the earlier builds that I had done on the island. I love the colors, I love the orange everywhere. It's super fun and glowy at night. And I just tried to incorporate as many trees as possible, as many of the decayed trees and pumpkin trees. And of course we have a giant pumpkin here. And we also have some mushrooms as well. And that is kind of going to be explained because of an area that we have to the right over here, but we will get there in just a minute. But yeah, it's kind of like an overgrown forest. The pumpkins are super big here in the pumpkin forest. They're kind of overgrown, and that's because they aren't natural. They aren't near naturally grown pumpkins. Something happened to make them grow super big. But this actually leads to a bridge that leads back to the set of apartments. So we're gonna head on back here and kind of explain why there are so many big pumpkins throughout this area. So if you head to this bridge on the right side, we are entering our island's spooky laboratory. It really took a couple of tries for me to make this build, and I am very happy with how it turned out. So we kind of have the laboratory gated off here. You really shouldn't enter this area because it's kind of toxic. The glowing moss is not healthy. So that kind of explains why there were so many big overgrown pumpkins because this glowing moss kind of bled into the pumpkin forest and ended up affecting the growth of the pumpkins. So that kind of explains that. But down here I have more of the eyeball code. I just think it's such a fun code and I wanted to use it as much as possible. But yeah, that's our little spooky laboratory. I just thought this was super fun to do and incorporate. Again, kind of wacky and fun. There's just so many little areas that are just different and really don't have any specific explanation behind them. I just think it was a really fun way to incorporate different builds that I wouldn't typically do on islands. But once you exit the laboratory, we kind of enter this overgrown forest here. Of course, I wanted to incorporate some of the mush lamps as well to kind of tie into the laboratory. This is kind of an area that is also affected by all of the glowing moss. I really did struggle though with this area for the longest time, but I am happy with the end product. And over here, I thought this was a really fun build to do. This is kind of like an eyeball swimming hole. I found this code, this sign, and I thought it would be super silly and fun to make a little swimming hole with the eyeball code that I have. So I kind of just surrounded it with the wheat fields and the glowing moss, and it's just super fun. I feel like if you are a typical resident on Wednesday, you would be perfectly fine swimming in here, but if you're a regular person, I probably would avoid swimming in this little pond here. But yeah, that is my little eyeball swimming hole. I also didn't really decorate many of the beaches, so there's really nothing there to see, but we're going to go ahead and head back this way. If you had gone up that incline over there, that actually leads back to our shopping district with the two shops. But we are going to go up this incline, and this leads to, once again, another land bridge. But over here I did decorate the beach just because we're on the edge of the map. You see it a lot, so I didn't want it to be just completely empty. So I thought it'd just be perfect to sprinkle in some spooky trees. But here we have a little land bridge. This is really fun. It ties into the colors of the laboratory, and I just think it's so great. We just have a ton of benches, fallen leaves, and pumpkins here. And this enters into another extension of the forest. And when you go up this incline though, we lead to Humphrey's house. And Humphrey is kind of like our outcast on the island, I guess. He's a little off to himself. He keeps to himself because he is very interested in aliens, and as he should be, because he has discovered a UFO right here in the forest. I love this build so much. This was one of the most fun ones that I did for this island. I do like a lot of the builds, but this one was just, I feel like I just really had to get creative with this forest. Originally, I wanted this build to have like Humphrey's house in the center of the forest, just surrounded by trees, but it didn't turn out quite like I hoped, so I ended up settling with this alien and the moon back there. And I'm just really happy with how it turned out. I think it's so fun, very dense, a thick forest, and it's just perfect. And again, I think it ties into the laboratory that we have down at the bottom. But we're gonna walk past that area, head over here, and this is leading into probably one of my most favorite builds on the island, and that is my trick-or-treat street slash neighborhood. I just love making neighborhoods in Animal Crossing, so this one was super fun to do. This is where you come and do all of your trick-or-treating. All of the villagers have their candy set out for anyone who wants to come by and grab some candy. And their houses are also decorated out for Halloween, of course. So yeah, this little long strip of road is kind of just like the entrance. There's also another entrance to the back, which we will get to, but this is Muffy and Vesta's house, and behind their house we have a little cul-de-sac with some glowing lights and all the colors. And I love how this one turned out as well. I love making cul-de-sacs in Animal Crossing. I just think it's so much fun. So you can just go around to each house, grab some candy. I think it's so perfect. And I just love this centerpiece here in the middle. This is probably the most colorful section of the island just because of all the pumpkins and the colors. And of course this purple road. Now, if you were to go down this incline, this leads back to those sets of apartments, which I thought was perfect because it's right next to the neighborhood. But if we go through these trees over here, we lead to another part of the neighborhood. And I wanted to do some more diagonal roads. I just thought that was really fun. We have Lucky's house here, we have Megan. Oh, and I need to actually destroy this rock. This is not supposed to be here. There we go. Okay, as I was saying, this is Megan's house, and here in the center of Megan and Petrie's house, we have a little spot where you can sit down and watch a movie. I just thought that was a really nice centerpiece to add, especially since it's such a small section. I just thought it fit in really, really nicely. And of course we have another pumpkin patch, and look, we have a fall movie playing. Perfect while you're running around doing all your trick-or-treating. Love it. And you can go pick up some pumpkins as well from the neighborhood pumpkin patch. And heading down here, we have more houses. We have, I think this is Kiki's house. She has a ton of pumpkins outside of her house to decorate for Halloween. And I wanted to give her a little table setting and chairs because I thought she'd be the one to sit down outside of her house and hand out the candy herself because she just seems to be that kind of villager. And of course, I just love all the glowing elements. If you are very curious, these are the stage lights. I kind of just turned them backwards to make them blend in more, but I really just stuck them in anywhere to glow, and it's just like the perfect little element that really adds to the whole island. But coming down this way leads to my house, and we're going to go ahead and visit the inside because I did decorate the inside of my house. And outside of my yard, we have just a ton of pumpkins. I really wanted to deck it out because I am hosting a Halloween party inside of my house. And here's my living room. So I am hosting a little Halloween party. I just thought that would be a perfect interior to do. I was really tempted not to do my interiors this time because I just really wanted to finish the island. But I have done all of my interiors for my house on all of my islands, and I just thought it would be really, really sad if I didn't do that for this Halloween one, especially since there are so many clever ideas you could do for interiors for Halloween. But yeah, we just got a little spot where we could do some karaoke. We got a piano, someone dropped their candy here in all the festivities. We got a little couch area to sit down and relax. I just thought this was a really, really fun interior to do, but I am more excited about what I have going on upstairs. So up here, I just had to. I couldn't not do this, especially since my island's name is Wednesday. I wanted to recreate Wednesday in Enid's room from the show. I think I kind of really nailed Enid's side of the room. I just think that's so fun. Her side is very colorful, full of lights and curtains and just everything. And then Wednesday's side of the room I am happy with, but I feel like it would have been better if I had done the bed just plain black instead of the patchwork. But I noticed in the show she has a very comfy black chair, and this is the closest chair in game to the chair that she has. And the bed kind of just didn't fit in once I put the chair in here, so I just decided to make everything match. But yeah, we have Enid and Wednesday's side. Of course, we have Wednesday's cello, and back there is a little nod to the show with the music box, which I'm not going to spoil, but that's a very important detail in the show. And she has her phonograph and of course her typewriter because she is a writer. So yeah, I just thought this was so much fun. I really wanted to incorporate the girls' room up here in the top floor of my house. Alrighty, so that's all from my house. We're gonna travel down here. I actually really love how I lined this fence. I really wanted to do this idea where it's like pumpkins were sitting on top of a fence, and you can't really put anything on top of fences in games, so I just settled with the Turkey Day stands here, and I just think it turned out really cute. But we're gonna head on here. We got some more glowing moss and this walkway full of spooky trees, and this is kind of leading back to the shopping little area with Wednesday out here and the magic shop. But over here, just to have some more apartments just to tie in all the details. We're behind the carnival here, so that's why you kind of see the backside of those balloons. And yeah, just more apartments. But you guys, that is essentially all of Wednesday. I went through this one pretty fast because there isn't too much going on, but once again, I had so much fun making this island. I always have fun making my islands. But this one was just extra special because it was Halloween and I absolutely adore Halloween. So everyone, that was Wednesday. I just had a complete blast making this island, and I just really hope you guys enjoyed seeing around and visiting with me. If you do visit, definitely let me know and let me know what you think. I hope you have fun exploring. I'd love to see any pictures if you do decide to take any, because it truly will brighten my day. But since Wednesday is all complete, we are getting back into my other island, Gardenia. I know it's been so long since I've built on that island and have shown you guys some progress, but those videos will be coming out very soon, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't and you'd like to follow along. We got so many exciting things. I did mention that I do want to do a 30-day challenge, most likely in December. I got so many island themes that I am really excited to do next year, so definitely stay tuned because I am not running out of Animal Crossing themes or builds anytime soon. So thank you everyone once again for joining me on today's tour. I hope you all had fun. I hope you all have a lovely day or night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!